Howdy y'all, boys and girls. I got a drive ahead of me, so I figured I'd share with you guys a topic that I once, meaning in my time, I wish someone shared with me. But what gives a positive outlook on your operation versus another guy's? Meaning, if you're trying to open a trucking company, and what gives you better chances than another guy? So vaguely, don't bombard me for not getting into certain topics and open a can of worms and not finishing up the deal, you know. But I'll try to keep it. I'll try to keep it as simple as possible. I know I'm gonna end up getting into something I should have put more attention on, but in the comments, I'm pretty sure you guys will let me know, and obviously I'll emphasize on that certain topic, whatever you guys want to know more about. Now, back to the topic of this video. Guys, I am really tired. I had a rough night sleep last night, and I'm driving all day, so I had to take care of some stuff. Anyways, so excuse me if I sound tired and sleepy in the video. I'm just trying to make good on my time, if you know what I'm saying. So a person, a fella or a gal that wants to get into trucking, and what are some things they need to be looking out for, or what are some things they need to be staying away from or seeking? Let's just put it that way. And I will cover a few, and I feel like they're very important. Half of them are neglected. Half of them people don't even think about because they're so eager to get into trucking. Guys, I'm a very stubborn person, and I'm very naive. But as naive and stubborn and quote-unquote tough I am, trucking would have folded me multiple times if I wasn't surrounded with the right people. It goes hand in hand all around in life, but especially in trucking, because it's so dirty and so twisted. Overnight you could go broke. Overnight you could lose all your equipment. I really don't want to get into that topic, but vaguely, being with the wrong people, you know, working with the wrong people. Now, more so on what I'm trying to emphasize on, going into business with the right people is one thing, you know, brokers, and primarily, you know, if you want a trucking company, so you're a carrier, and be looking for brokers and trying to work with brokers and customers. So, you know, you could really lose your butt on that one real quick. But rewind the tape a little before you get to the brokers. I want to tell you and advise you to surround yourself with people you know, because those are going to be your first stepping stone, or first steps in the company, and they could really throw you off beat, you know, if that stone starts rolling on you or something. So that stone, you guys know what I'm trying to say. You know, you rely on that person as a solid ground, and he just twists and turns and throws you under the bus, and then you're in a world of pain. And here's an example, you know. I guess it'd be okay to share. Weeks ago, 4 letters got neglected by one of my gals in the office. 4 letters from the same bank got neglected, and they put me on this. Forced insurance policy. All they wanted is proof insurance on one of my pickups. Actually, 2 of my pickups. And the way my insurance works is, you know, initially when you start, they give you a certificate, and they say if anything changes, we'll let you know. Well, my lender wanted to get an updated one for whatever odd reason. Knows my insurance, knows my policy, doesn't care to call them, but send us letters. And I'm not trying to say we're right or wrong here. I'm just saying the way they did it was right. You know, they could have went another route, but they've sent out 4 letters, got no response from us, and they forced on insurance on my truck. Well, all along I had insurance on that truck. Well, the gal neglected those. So far, one truck, bottom line, came out to $1,200 additional premiums, and the other truck is still unknown. Well, we're in the process of figuring that out. Now, when you're starting a trucking company, you're all in, and $1,200 might make make a difference of you making it today or not. I kid you not. You know, I was 18. Well, I was full on 19 when I actually started a trucking company. And I thought I was good. I had somewhere in the 20s, $20,000 to my name. And let me tell you, they went real quick. My beloved Honda Prelude. Yep, Honda Prelude had to go for sale, and it got sold real quick. And that, I think I got like $6,000 out of it. It wasn't even half what I put into it. I never had anticipated. I never planned on selling that car, but life put me in a corner. Either I really didn't have another option. It put me in a corner. My truck was in Chicago, and I had no fuel money. So, or after the fuel money, the fact that I got to pay my driver, and I didn't look into factoring back then. You know, I just started a trucking company. Me, myself, and I probably would have done things differently now. But anyways, and I had my beloved little Honda Prelude I had, and pay for the fuel and pay my driver. So as I was saying, you know, $1,200 is a lot of money when you're starting out. And it's still money to me to today's date, but it's not going to make a difference in me not being able to pay my bills and for me to pay my bills. So you guys know what I'm trying to say. Guys, I'm really sorry. I'm tired, and a lot of you are going to hate this video, but I feel like some of you are going to appreciate it. And if I could help a few people out of the bunch that watch it, so help me God. Anyway, so that's probably the most important one, guys. I can't emphasize enough how important it is to go into business with the right people. Not the second step is brokers. I'm talking about taking on your first driver. I mean, I know you got to take risk, and I know that what I'm saying isn't 100% doable, but just listen up. Or not doable. It's not. One can't guarantee it, but when you're going into business and you're trucking, obviously you need a driver, and try to pick one out there that you know is meticulous about equipment or half decent about equipment. A driver that's, you know, knows his stuff at least on an average level for a fact, not for what they told you, but for what you're convinced yourself you've seen him or her do. And here's exactly what I mean. I was very fortunate to take on a guy with experience as my first driver, and a guy that was very meticulous about the truck, the way he did his paperwork, the way he did everything. He's just a meticulous type of guy. He's a great guy, and that helped me out a lot. He was a little but he gave himself a little slack with the logbooks. So I had to implement a deal in the company. You owe me $50 if you fail in a violation, and I pay you $50 if you pass it. You know? So pass an inspection. If you fail an inspection, you owe me $50, and if you pass an inspection, I owe you $50. Obviously, life went on, and I changed that policy. But anyways, so that guy really helped me out by keeping things simple and straightforward as much as he could. You know, the equipment that I had, it was an older piece of equipment. It was a good truck, but he was all that mechanically inclined, and he did a good job for what he could have done. So if I could ask for better, from what I've seen from my whole experience, he's a pretty solid guy. If you average him out, he's up there, you know, on the list. That'll help you out a lot. Now, if you have to hire a dispatcher, for example, you want to take on a truck, put a driver in there, and drive yourself. I don't know what your plans are, so I'm just going to vaguely cover them all. Dispatchers, they make a difference of you running and not running. You're like, oh, surprise spawn. No, I'm serious. They also make a difference of you making money and losing money. And what I mean by that is a dispatcher can keep you running and he could keep the wheels spinning, but he will do it inefficiently. Where another one will plan it out. And by no means am I saying this dispatcher is going to give you ungodly rates as a high side, not as a low side. No, a good dispatcher knows the market and just works his way around. You know, if that truck has to go for a mile, or excuse me, $1 a mile, God, hopefully no one has to do that, and I never have to do that again. But if that dispatcher has to run that truck for a short burst or a short jump for $1 a mile, so be it, just to get you a stronger, a healthier run, you know, cross country, whatever, wherever you're trying to get. But you need to know the market. You know, a lot of times, actually 99% of the time, the dispatcher, everything depends on the dispatcher as far as the loads go. Now, listen carefully. The dispatcher might be doing a mighty fine job, but you're slacking. You're not pulling your weight as a driver. It's all teamwork. Surprise, right? As a driver, if you're put on a tighter run, I'm not saying an illegal run, I'm saying a tighter run, and you don't know how to get your crap together, no heavenly dispatcher's going to help you with that one, if you know what I'm saying. If you can't drive, you can't drive. If you can't keep your stuff together and prioritize your day, then no dispatcher's going to help you. So any way you spin it, you know, drivers, try to take, what I'm trying to say is try to take as small as a risk as you can on a, you know, the first, second driver. As your company grows, obviously you can afford more risk, but those first, second drivers, my goodness, man, they can put you upside down real quick. And pay your guys, ladies and gents, pay your guys, pay your gals. If he's mechanically inclined, he might not ask for it. Like, for example, it's a good example I can give you. I have a fella that's mechanically inclined and he's a driver, you know, and he's like, hey Paul, I had some downtime, and I realized that, you know, we got this hose that's rubbing up against the radiator shroud. It's gonna cut through pretty soon, man. We need to we really need to look into that thing and replace that hose before it does go, you know. And then he found another one. The guy absolutely has better things to do than dig under my truck when on his downtime, but he understands if the truck's down, then he's down, and if both of them are down, no one's making money. Not the owner, not the operator. So it's pretty basics. But you can't expect that from people. You know, in this case, this guy's mechanically inclined and he knows how to do stuff. And he will do it. So what I do for a guy like this, obviously, pay him as a good driver. You know, this is an example. You don't have to follow this, obviously. But let's say your seniority in your company gets 50 cents a mile and XYZ, you know, per drop or whatever the case might be, per tarp. Pay him. You know, if this guy's mechanically inclined and he's up there and he's not all that in the seniority range as far as how long he's been with the company, progressively increase his pay and pay him well. But don't blow him out of the water as far as, you know, everyone making 50 cents and now he's making 70. You got to have some kind of standards. And the industry is going to dictate that for you guys too. You can't start paying, you know, ungodly amounts and expect to be a successful company. But you just paid out all your profits. How you gonna expand, you know? But when I am saying those guys that go out of their way, you go out of your way, you know? Once in a blue moon, be like, hey, I want to give you a bonus. Translate it any way you want to. You know, hey, I want to buy you dinner. Hey, I want to give you a bonus. I want to give you a gift card for here or there. Any way you want, but show them. Well, I guess help them realize and show them that they're not just a regular driver. Don't put one down and the other up. Don't do that. But show them that you notice their extra efforts. And in some cases, won't even want to take your money. Not want to take your money, but they just will literally push you away and say, no, I don't want your money. I made what I'm making, and I'm very thankful for the money that I make with you. But if you won't take cash or whatever your deal is, change it up. If he doesn't like Applebee's gift card, give him a Sherry's, or I don't know, some fancy restaurant. Obviously, Applebee's and Sherry's is not a fancy restaurant, but you guys get the point. Find a way to, guys, it's almost like it's a relationship. Not almost like, but it is a relationship. You always got to work on it, and you're always gonna come across those people that you bend over backwards for them 3 times, and you can't imagine you've been so flexible with them yourself. Like, you can't imagine yourself that you've been so flexible with them. But yet, end of the day, you're still a bad boss, or you're still a bad supervisor. It's just not going to change those kind of people. So, keep a balance. Like I said in the beginning, and some of you are like, oh, no-brainer people. No, literally, guys, people. People. That's your business. People are your business. They all walk out on you. You can call yourself a businessman, and it's like, I smile at those people saying, oh, I have my own company. Yeah, you got your own company legally. You got your own authority and all that, but son, you have no idea. And I mean son. This guy's 55 years old, and I can call him a son because the way he carries himself. Not to disrespect him, I'm just saying as far as business, man. He's a son to me because the way he carries himself, the way he presents himself, and I'm not saying, oh, he's unprofessional. He's foolish, Oh, I got my own company, I can do whatever I want. Well, go for it. Who's holding you back? Oh, I got this, I got that, I know this, I know that, And they come in and try to tell you how to run your company. Obviously, you're not going to be a fool like him and tell him, hey, it's my company, let me run it. No, you don't go on their level. You just look at them and you smile. But those are the kind of people that they think that just because they have their own DOTMC authority, they feel like they know it all and they understand what it is to really actually run a company. And some of them are just enjoying life, and I'm not bashing on them, but there are those guys out there. They're pretty slim. They're actually not that readily found, but there are those guys, that will be like, no, man, I own my own company. I know how it is. It's like, yo, buddy, who works in your company? You, yourself, and you. There's no one else. So, a true company is when you got multiple people, in my own definition. As I said in the beginning, this is just an opinion, and everyone's entitled to one. It seems like you guys like to listen to me and my opinion, so, and quite frankly, I wish at my time someone shared that with me. All these little things I'm sharing with you guys. So anyways, y'all probably wondering where I'm driving. This is 84. They call this thing a dead man's pass. If I remember right, is the name of this pass, Dead Man's Pass. And in my videos, you guys know I have a Burgundy truck, a Dodge Ram Burgundy one. I think it was wrecked around that corner over there. But my memory serves me well enough, I'll be able to point it out for you guys. Next thing. Gamble with your equipment. And I'm talking big rigs at this point. Well, I didn't finish the statement. Gamble properly with your equipment. And I'll show a prime example for you guys. I'm a hardcore Cummins guy, and it comes from the pickups because I was introduced to Cummins through the pickups. I know what they're capable of, and I understood the true definition of inline 6. So when I got into big rigs, I looked at them, and they're all inline 6. So I just naturally gravitated to Cummins. I'm like, well, if they could do a small engine, they could do a mid-size engine. And, it isn't always true, but so I started doing my research, and dogs as far as quote-unquote modern engines 8 years ago, you know, easy on the emission stuff. So I went out and bought one of those trucks specifically with that engine. That is specifically what I was looking for. And I was gambling. Obviously, I was gambling to buy a used piece of equipment or a used truck. But I minimized my chances of failure as much as I could. And I didn't test something I wasn't aware of. And this is where the example continues. I bought my second truck specifically with the same exact engine. Guys, I did well. And then I started picking up, you know, Volvos with Cummins, Volvos with Volvo engines, and didn't like the whole used Rome. Because even the Cummins weren't giving me problems. Like the engine itself, between those two trucks, I probably put on 750,000. Now, about 800, 850 between those two trucks. The first Cummins and the second Cummins. They're both ISX, and they're both pre-GR. I think they're 01 or 02 Columbias. 02 Columbias, I think that's what they were. But anyhow, everything around it is what was giving me problems. And most of these let's just say most of my drivers that I was hiring, they're careless, A, and B, they're not mechanically inclined. And let's be honest, who wants to get under a semi and start wrenching on stuff and fix it? No one. You know, far in between a few of them, I would come across a guy that's decent, you know, half decently mechanic, and he's willing to work on my stuff, and that's, you know, obviously I pay him for his time, but those drivers don't last long, because if they understand everything, they'll just go off on their own. And by all means, you know, that's all normal, that's fine. But I gambled with new equipment. I went away from the old stuff, as I was stating, you know, things around the engine was failing. The Volvos, the Freightliners. So I went the new route. Well, I bought brand new Volvos. And welcome to the emissions nightmare. Thankfully, or lucky me, I figured out that system pretty darn good by now. I own 4 of those suckers. Blood leeching, sucking little engines. But anyway, so that's all that I'm trying to underline is when you go out and buy your equipment, be very meticulous, be very careful. You know, test after you already got the company rolling for some time and you could afford to try different stuff, but not in the beginning. Make sure you do your due diligence, you know, do your research, do everything you got to do before you pay your last dollar for